Hey everybody, welcome back for some more game time. My name is Kyle, your humble host for this particular YouTube channel, showcasing various game consoles and games themselves and a bunch of other stuff, random this, that, and the other thing. Good to be back with you too. It's been a little while. I've had some issues and family situations to take care of lately, so haven't been pumping these videos out too steadily, but luckily there's not a high demand for them, so we're okay in that aspect. Great to be back, and as a special treat, I want to show off this great expansion module number 1, I believe, for the ColecoVision. This is the expansion module that lets you play Atari 2600 games on your ColecoVision. This was kind of a big deal back in the day. We're going to talk a little bit about how this came to be and what Atari's response to this was. Imagine that nowadays, being able to play like PlayStation games on your Xbox. That'd be pretty wild. But of course it didn't go over too well, so we'll talk a little bit about that. We're going to play a couple of Atari games on here just to kind of show how they look like, take a tour of the system itself and everything here next on the video. And as for my shout out, I got to give a shout out to my buddy Retro Pixel. I'm new to his channel as well. I've only seen a couple of his videos. Was introduced to him not too long ago. I follow him on Twitter. He's a member of the good old Cartridge Club, and he does his own podcast. So I'll provide a link in the description to his YouTube channel, and you should be able to get a lot of his information from there. So fun videos. He's a great guy, and a lot more entertaining than I am. So go check out his content as well. So stay tuned next for the expansion module number 1 on ColecoVision, next on Game. Alright, as you can see here, sitting on top of the actual ColecoVision, which is right here, beautiful piece of 80s hardware, is the expansion module number 1 from ColecoVision. Of course, Coleco, Connecticut leather company, of all things. They made a really good job at making it look like it would be a good add-on for the Coleco, because you see Coleco's a lot of black and silver with, you know, rainbow logo and everything. And look at this, lots of black and silver, got the Coleco logo on there. So anyway, what this allowed you to do was put a standard Atari 2600 game into the slot like that. And on the ColecoVision itself, you have this little door that opens up. And unlike some other expansions for classic retro systems back in the day, this one was actually used, believe it or not, because it would just kind of slip right in here like so. I'm going to do it one-handed, see if it works. There we go. So now it's all kind of one unit there. And in front of the expansion, you have 2 joystick slots where you would use your Atari 2600 joystick. So that would essentially plug in here. Otherwise, on here as well, get a little glare out of the way. Color, black and white, the left and right difficulties, as you would see on the Atari systems themselves. Game select and reset. So all the switches that are on the Atari are faithfully on here as well. Now, unfortunately, because it is a separate unit from the ColecoVision, you cannot use the ColecoVision controllers for the Atari games. So that's it. I mean, it makes sense. It's a little unfortunate, but I think with some of the Atari games, you're better off with just the standard joystick. Or, yeah, it's a 9-pin connector, so the paddle controllers would work as well. So you would just basically turn the system on like you normally would, but instead of playing a ColecoVision game, would just play an Atari game. Atari, of course, if you could imagine, was a little upset by this. They did a lawsuit and took him to court and everything. However, this expansion module was not made using any Atari parts. Coleco did this device using their own design and all their own hardware and parts. So it technically is not resembled in Atari at all. So Atari ended up losing that battle, unfortunately. And this was interesting because it gave Coleco and the ColecoVision itself with the ability to play all the Atari games really gave them one of the best libraries of the time, because yeah, you could get an Atari or you could get a Coleco and one of these expansions and play them both on the same TV. So if you did have both of these back in the day, you had a pretty good library being able to play Coleco and Atari games. So that was pretty neat. Too bad they didn't do one for the Intellivision. I thought that would have been pretty cool. Have all three in one. You wouldn't need the other two consoles. You just need the Coleco that could play everything. So, but yeah, like I said, that's kind of the look there. Cartridge just goes in like so. Fits in very nice. Nothing much back. That's the where that plugs into the door down there on the ColecoVision, and of course nothing on bottom other than the rubber grips. Coleco, made in the USA. I imagine there might have been something there back in the day, but really, yeah, nothing else on the console itself. So what we'll do next, we'll play a minute or two of Chopper Command, and we'll play something else. But you pretty much know how the Atari games work out. But we're just going to play them using the ColecoVision hardware. All right, let's turn on the switch here. And yeah, there it is. That's an Atari 2600 game being played on the ColecoVision. I have my joystick right here hooked up to the front of the expansion module 1. I'm gonna hit start here, one of the buttons, and off we go. I am playing this on the ColecoVision. So yeah, pretty darn neat, I think. And yeah, you know, they made it with the same parts that, or excuse me, different parts that were used than the Atari, but I think it looks, runs, sounds pretty much like it would on the good old Atari VCS or Atari 2600. This is a Chopper Command, by the way, kind of very, very, very similar to Defender, but this is from Activision. So one thing I want to do here is I want to put a ColecoVision game in. So the sound to me is putting a cartridge into the ColecoVision slot in the dark. Would help if I go the right way. So I'm going to turn the ColecoVision off, and I'm going to turn it on again. I have a game in each slot. So I'm going to turn it on. It automatically goes to the Atari slot. That's pretty interesting. I'm going to take that Atari game out, turn it on again. Interesting. Yeah, I have my cartridge in there nice and tight. That's pretty interesting. I'm going to take the expansion module out. I'm going to disconnect it from the ColecoVision. So that's interesting. It doesn't seem like the ColecoVision games play while the expansion module is in the slot. That's pretty interesting. Cosmic Avenger for the ColecoVision, by the way. It's kind of glitched out. That's pretty interesting. I'll have to reset that. But yeah, this kind of be that's interesting. That this game did not want to boot up while the expansion module was plugged in. All right, the expansion module is back in, and yeah, it just uploads pretty quick there. Gotta like games back in the day. There's no installing and preloading and having to install updates. Nothing like that. I put the cartridge in, turn the console on, and I'm playing within 2 seconds. That's the way it should be. Alright everybody, thanks for watching this video. Fans of ColecoVision and Atari can unite. I'm a big fan of both. I love that ColecoVision though. That's quite the console. If you ever get a chance to pick one up, definitely do so. And don't forget to definitely check out Retro Pixel as well. He has a fun YouTube channel. Again, link in the description below. I'm new to his channel as well, so I haven't seen a lot of his content, but looking forward to sitting down and watching more when I have some free time. And thanks to everybody who has subscribed to this channel. Much appreciated. Definitely not needed, but good to know a few people like some of the amateur content we put out. And we'll continue to do so as long as there's always at least 1 or 2 people watching. So check out cartridgeclub.org. You'll find me there and in the forums. And everybody, peace out, have a good day, and game on.